Welcome to That Damn Progressive. I'm David Croft. How the hell are you? We got a lot to go into today. First off, Kamala Harris has chosen Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her vice presidential candidate.
Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party don't just need to move on from Trump. They need to move on from Biden and from Hillary. They need to ditch the establishment elites who not only ruin the vibes that Dems tend to run on, they quash any real policy change.
I'm all for pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. We didn't have any boots. Social Security was the boots, and we pulled ourselves up, and we paid that back. And I think J.D. Vance gets none of that. You know, it's the aw shucks, I'm from here or whatever. So my hillbilly cousins did not go to Yale, but I'll tell you what they did. They contributed to our community, and they're proud of it.
While his policies to feed kids in school and protect benefits earned him all kinds of backlash, it really makes you question why the
Undeserved backlash, by the way.
Politicians who fight for the little guy get a bad rep, while the ones who are friends with Wall Street executives in Silicon Valley are labeled good for the economy. The last time I checked, they both needed bailouts. The working class has never gotten a bailout. And while J.D. Vance calls them lazy, Tim Walz ushers in a new future and a new politics.
Which he does. So, honestly, this is a really good from Kamala Harris. And give me one moment, because I think I bookmarked a couple from Kyle Kulinski. Give me 1 second for actual bookmarks. Yes. All right, so this is from Kyle Kulinski. Let me share it. His accomplishments with just a one-seat majority in Minnesota. He was able to give universal free school meals, legalize marijuana, carbon-free electricity by 2040, tax rebates for the working class up to $1,300, making under $150,000 per year, 12 weeks of paid family leave, 12 sick leave, banned conversion therapy, which is a type of therapy used to cure gay people, even though there's no way to do that. You're just born that way, whether the religious bigots want to admit it or not. Red flag laws for guns. Let me try saying that 3 times fast. Universal background checks for guns, automatic voter registration, free public college under $80,000, ban on PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, $2.2 billion increase in K-12 school funding, and sectoral bargaining for nursing home workers. Now, he did add a few more of those accomplishments. Other policies that Kyle Kulinski managed to other policies Tim Walz hasn't mentioned yet as congressman and governor: opposed Wall Street bailouts in 2008, voted against outsourcing deals, 100% rating from Planned Parenthood, banned non-compete clauses, raised minimum wage for small businesses, raised taxes on multinational corporations, protected gender-affirming care, banned medical providers from withholding care over provided construction workers, protected construction workers, from wage theft, and massive Minnesota infrastructure bill. That is a lot for Tim Walz to actually for this pick. Now, let me see. Yes. All right. I do want to go to Cenk Uyghur's reaction. Because I believe it was pretty fitting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. But for the first time in a good way. Up goes Tim Walz. Up goes Tim Walz. Wow. Kamala Harris just picked Tim Walz to be her vice presidential candidate. That is unbelievable. I literally cannot believe it. So, look, guys, there's so many things to tell you about here. But first thing I got to tell you is I think she's going to win. Holy cow, I think she's going to win. This is an amazing pick. So I'll get to why I wanted Josh Shapiro in a minute and how thrilled I am that I was wrong. So you don't often hear talk show hosts saying that, but you're going to hear me say that a couple of times here today.
And so Cenk goes on and talks about the accomplishments of Tim Walz, if I'm remembering this video correctly, because the last I saw it was when this first was. But this has not or they're wanting to be called now from trying to go after Governor Tim his military record. So I just want to lead in with this little clip from JD Vance, and this was at a tiny little stop he had on the campaign trail, you know, because Trump can't be bothered to go out and campaign. He's too busy melting down, and we're going to get to that moment. But here's the clip.
Well, I wonder, Tim Walz, when were you ever in war? When was this? What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq, and he has spent a day in a combat zone? What bothers me about Tim Walz is the stolen valor garbage. Do not pretend to be something that you're not. And if he wants to criticize me for getting an Ivy League education, I'm proud of the fact that my mamaw supported me, that I was able to make something of myself. I'd be ashamed if I was him and I lied about my military service like he did.
Your yeehaw? Let me rewind that. I might be getting an ear infection. Hold on.
Something that you're not. And if he wants to criticize me for getting an Ivy League education, I'm proud of the fact that my mamaw supported me, that I was able.
Oh, mama. Okay. All right. So that makes a little bit more sense than yeehaw. But this is not stopping the right wing from pushing a debunked and smear against Tim Walz and his military record, as you obviously saw from JD Vance. Glad he was able to take time away from his love session with a couch in order to be there. Right? This is from Media Matters. Right-wing media are reviving oat smears pushed by political rivals of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz about his retirement from the military, accusing him of stolen valor and misleading their audience about the reality of his 24-year service record with the National Guard. Specifically, right-wing media are claiming that Walz resigned and abandoned his National Guard unit and resigned after the unit received deployment orders to go to Iraq, when in reality, Walz resigned 2 months before the unit received orders, and Walz likely submitted his retirement papers even earlier. According to a copy of his service record obtained by military.com, Walz enlisted in the Army National Guard in 1981 and reached the rank of Command Sergeant Major before retiring in 2005 following a re-enlistment after the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. Walz retired honorably, as a Master Sergeant, a lower rank than Command Sergeant Major, since he did not complete all of the necessary coursework for the higher rank before his service ended. Walz went on to successfully campaign for Congress, where he served for multiple terms, helping veterans exposed to toxins during their military service, sponsoring a veteran suicide prevention bill, and advocating for more GI Bill benefits. Now, when it comes to actually wanting to do more for our men and women in uniform, I'm sorry, that was worth a round of applause. So let the GOP try all they want. It's not going to go for them. All right. So Joe Biden is also wanting to overhaul the Supreme Court. Yay, about time. This is from Raw Story. There are kings in America. Joe Biden decided to overhaul the Supreme Court. Joe Biden shared his plan to push sweeping reforms through the Supreme Court before he leaves office, including enacting term limits. My biggest issue, really, and most importantly, dismantling presidential immunity established a recent case involving former President Donald Trump. There are no cases in America. Joe Biden, when he was delivering marks at the LBJ Presidential Library, from over a week after he announced he would not seek re-election. This was from 2 weeks ago. Biden took aim at Project 2025, which he says will result in an onslaught attacking civil rights in America by attacking policies that protect diversity, equity, inclusion, and voting rights. 5 is real. They mean it, is what he said. And to add on to what Biden just said here, extremism is undermining the public confidence in the court's decisions. In the face of increasing threats to American democratic institutions, today I'm calling for 3 bold reforms to restore trust and accountability to the court and our democracy. Biden's plans call for enacting 18-year term limits on justices. Oh, yes, I want that. We have term limits on presidents and members of Congress in both the House and the Senate. We need term limits. Now, honestly, let me rephrase the Congress part. There are term limits, but there's no limit on how many terms one can run for. It also calls, let me go back to the article. It also calls for an amendment dismantling presidential immunity and ensuring future presidents, are held accountable for any criminal acts in office. Okay, so this one can be interpreted a few different ways. It would mean that Bush and Obama probably wouldn't have any type of immunity for anything they did. But also Trump wouldn't have it. Neither would Biden. So, hey, if we want to have our presidents actually held accountable, I'm for it. Lastly, again, going back to the article, he called on the creation of an ethic code that can be enforced to curtail conflicts of interest as evidenced by controversies surrounding lavish gifts and trips given to Republican justices by wealthy conservative donors. Now, Joe Biden laid out this plan. He got some backlash. A right winger who helped shape the Supreme Court. And this is also from 2 weeks ago. Who helped shape the U.S. Supreme Court objected to President Joe Biden's 3 proposals to reform Monday. Again, keep in mind, both these articles came out 2 weeks ago. The president called for Congress to pass a constitutional amendment that would undo the court's ruling on Donald Trump's immunity claims, limit justices' terms to 18 years, and impose binding ethics rules to address the erosion of public trust in the court. But conservative or judicial activist Leonard Leo objected to all 3 measures. Oh, why am I not surprised by this? I want to have my influence too. Now, let's see if that little wine quote thing I did was accurate to sum up, or summary really, was accurate for what he had to say. No conservative justice has made any decision in any big case that surprised anyone. Let me stop there. It didn't surprise anybody, but it was enough to piss people off. All right, so going back to Leo's idiotic whining. So let's stop pretending this is about undue influence, said the guy who's influencing people. It's about Democrats destroying a court they don't agree with. I doubt that. As head conservative of the Federalist Society, okay, now you're kind of being exposed here as for why you don't like it. You got your way, now you're mad that we're trying to fix it. As head of the Conservative Federalist Society, Leo compiled the list of potential justices that Trump released during his 2016 campaign and then advised the former president on the nominations of Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, who's so Catholic, some of her rulings are issued in tongues. Prior to that, he also helped choose or confirm the other 3 conservative justices in the majority, Clarence Thomas, John Roberts, and Samuel Alito. This guy is not happy that we are wanting to undo the mistakes that he purposely put. He's not happy that we're trying to fix everything. So going back to the idiot's quote, if President Biden and the Democrats were truly reform, then they would ban all gifts and hospitality of any kind to any public official in any branch of government, starting with Congress, where the real corruption is. Okay, great. While we're at it, let's go ahead and tackle that too. I'm all for it, Leonard Leo. I am all for it. They would close all the loopholes that allow members to travel on private jets to fancy hotels and restaurants. With respect to judges, they would include the things where influence peddling is most present and dangerous, and that's when the liberal justices rub shoulders with influencers at places like law schools, bar associations, progressive think tanks, and their conferences, and other groups and events funded by left-wing billionaires where they support real vested interests in the work of the court. Oh, so the right wing also does this. So you're not happy when others do it? It's almost like we need to do those proposals that Biden is recommending. And the one part I do agree with you on, Leonard Leo, yeah, we do need to have a code of ethics. We need to tackle all the bribery going on. Let's get rid of the fucking lobbyists, shall we? I'm pretty sure AIPAC will be pissed, but fuck those guys. Democratic senators, going back to the article now, have called for the Department of Justice to appoint a special counsel to investigate alleged violations of federal ethics and tax laws by Thomas and Alito, and Gorsuch has also faced questions about their acceptance of gifts from conservative billionaires. This is another statement from Leonard. I'm a big old fucking crybaby Leo. Let me be clear. If Democrats want to adopt an across-the-board ethics ban for all branches, I'm in favor of that. I am too, dumbass. No chits, no meals, no speaking honorariums, no gifts for anyone, from anyone, for any reason in any branch, starting with Congress. Let's start with the Supreme Court, because I'm all for pissing you off. And then we'll also tackle Congress. Personally, I would rather do both ways, but given how whiny and pathetic you're sounding, Mr. Leo, you deserve to have this happen. But you close this out by saying, until they support that, let's all be honest about what it is, a campaign to destroy a court that they disagree with. You are an idiot. I am all for these reforms. I'm going to be upfront. And also, I'm all for doing a code of ethics for Congress and the presidency. We need to have that. But right now, the fire is coming from inside the Supreme Court. Stupid cough drop. Let's start there and we'll move on. Because I am all for making sure there's no corruption. Honestly, a good way to get rid of the corruption in Congress, overturn the Supreme Court Citizens United ruling, which led to a bunch of unlimited money coming into politics. And also, get the lobbyists the hell out of there because they don't belong anywhere near a sitting member of Congress. All right, I'm going to circle back to Georgia story because I want to kind of start addressing some of these clips from Trump's sit-down interview with far-right streamer Aiden Ross. This was probably one of the most blatant ass-kissing moments I have ever seen. And this is just based off clips I was able to find from the likes of Patriot Takes. All right, so let's start with this and then we'll flip. Donald Trump may be behind the polls. The former president is planning a comeback utilizing a secret weapon, edgelord influencers. In a bid to win over young male voters, the Trump campaign has been coding up to controversial online streamers and podcasters who trade in stunts and testosterone. So, I don't really have a joke for that. The fact that they were referred to as edgelords, can we consider that a joke? Let's just say that edgelords is a joke. In June, for example, Trump sat down with Logan Paul for a podcast interview in which he talked about alien life forms. Last week, JD Vance made his TikTok debut alongside the Nelk Boys, a Canadian YouTube collective who had collaborated with a self-proclaimed misogynist, Andrew Tate. If you guys are collaborating with Andrew Tate, were you guys aware he was selling bitches? Allegedly. Then on Monday, apparently on the advice of his 18-year-old son, Barron, who told his father Ross was really big, Trump live streamed a 90-minute interview with Aiden Ross. Trump told Ross that America was a drug-addicted, crime-infested nation and called Kamala Harris strange, which is ironic coming from one of the biggest weirdos talking with another one of the biggest weirdos. Don't what I mean by that? Well, I'm going a little out of order here. All right, got it. Well, this is part of what I mean. Right-wing cope for finding.
The worst thing I've ever done with my sister is smell their underwear. That's it.
Okay, now that's weird as fuck. On God, that is.
What the fuck is wrong with you, you colossal fucking weirdo creep? Oh my god, really? Okay, for the record, this is who Barron apparently thinks is okay for his dad to be chatting with when people are already viewing their party as weird. So, hey, you do you, boo. You want to fuck around? Look forward to you finding out when your dad loses. All right, so I'm going to go through these in the order I have them. Give me one all three of the first clips tie together. They are kind of tied in together. Okay. So in the first clip, one second. Okay. Oop, nope. Hold on. That's the wrong one. There we go. All right. So in the first clip, we have Trump talking about what happened at the National Association of Black Journalists. We're going to dive into that one to close out, most likely, where he ended up attacking ABC
That's right.
reporter Rachel Scott.
Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did it
Yeah, obsess over the crowd size. That's not going to help your case.
because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist. I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And that's right. Well,
Don't you find it funny that all women he refers to as nasty? Any type of woman who stands up to herself either doesn't know them or they're nasty. And it's a bit of a trend with Trump, which I find incredibly weird. So he continues his attacks on Rachel Scott, and I'm not even going to announce this one. I'm just going to let it play and speak for itself.
woman starts walk in, and this woman starts talking about. He talked about let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me, and I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing.
For the record, she started off with
Getting record numbers. And of course, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very.
yeah. So all this is fake. I'm the greatest. It's the typical bullshit coming. So he continued his attacks on Scott, saying it was a blue. I don't have a joke for this.
You have journalists today that one interested me. That was like a booby trap. I walk in and she starts saying, "We got to start a meeting." She didn't say, "Oh, thank you very much for being here."
No.
She did.
Just like the worst. And frankly, if I owned that network, I would fire her so fast. It was so appropriate. And I actually.
So you would fire her for doing her job. Let me make sure I heard that.
If I owned that network, I would. It was so appropriate. And actually, once you got to walk out there, and you actually give less information than what you would if they did it with sugar, right? She doesn't know about sugar, that one. That was so terrible. Became viral, number one viral.
Yeah.
And it was the question that was viral.
Mhm.
I think my answers were sort of good.
They were really good.
I think they considered to be, I can't brag,
You didn't answer a damn question during that interview, by the way.
but they were considered to be very good. But the level of hatred and craziness, and you don't know, is that from the head of the network or is that from her?
So the next clip, Trump claims that teachers have been brainwashed into voting against him. And in reality, a lot of us went through history courses and know exactly what history is repeating here. I don't even need to repeat this one.
I went to high school in California. Okay? And you know, a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, you know, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things. And the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to.
Okay, he's right about that, but at the same time, were you like doing a Heil Trump or anything like that? I wouldn't be surprised if you were, given your
have teachers,
history.
you know, discuss politics in school. But it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. You know, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
That's true.
So I want to know what your thoughts on that. You know, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. You know, they're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed.
Bad stuff like actual history. Oh my God. Fuck. Someone call 911. There's a history book with actual facts in it. Oh my God. Fuck off, you fucking dunce.
Washed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive.
What liberal way? I'm sorry, I don't see it.
They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore, so
Wow.
I usually use it. But
Yeah, so bullshit. We hate history. Oh my God. So we move on to the war on Christmas bullshit part of the segment. And I wish I was kidding when I said I really do, because they still think this is an actual thing. They still think there's a war on Christmas. Give me a fucking break, idiot.
almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. It's you weren't all saying Merry Christmas. I got that.
But
How much did you pay him? Really curious. How did you pay him? Ian? No, seriously, how much did you pay him?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Everyone of our Jewish friends say Kamala doesn't. No, she doesn't want. She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas. Insulting is Merry Christmas. So
Again with the lies. Ay, ay, ay. So we got to the point of this where we kept seeing the first of two idiotic gifts. Take a guess. Oh no, wait, it says it right here. It's a fucking Rolex.
I got a gift, a couple gifts.
that's good.
I'll do, you know, another. I'll show you the same gift later. But I did get you, and I got you a gift because, look, you are. I feel like you constantly get beat on, but you're so strong. You just, like I said, you live for the people. And you're here. I wanna present this gift right here. I hope you like watch.
Oh, it's a beautiful one. Should I open it?
You should open it. Show the camera.
That's a watch, actually. There's
You like Rolex?
like Nick Nicholas and Gary Player, Earl Palmer.
Taking this turn into a word association game because he's just naming names now.
All the golf guys and all the other guys too. I do. This is beautiful. Wow. Thank you.
Mhm.
Don't they have nice packaging?
They do. Really, really nice.
Wow, that's so nice. Oh, should I show that to the audience?
Yeah, they can see it.
Oh, I didn't know this. Now I know it. Now I know it's worth it.
That big of a box for a Rolex? Ah. Ay, ay, ay. So we move on to the praising of the dipshit who has ruined Twitter. Yes, I'm still dead naming Twitter. Fuck off.
Let's see what we got next here. We got Kanye.
So he's very complicated. Let's say complicated. Because he's a really nice guy, but he can get himself into trouble and he can get some other people. But he's got a good heart. He does. But he's complicated.
The guy who says he loves Hitler. Really? That's a good guy? That's a good guy to you. The guy thinks he's a genius when in reality he's not. Much like you do, Donald. So I'm not surprised you're willing to kiss his ass. Also praised Elon, I believe, in that clip. Now, he also kissed the ass of Kim Jong-un! A guy who, by the way, when he first took over power, ended up building an amusement park to the point where the people of North Korea were asking, what's amusement? But I digress.
Yes. I got to know him very well, and I got along with him great. He's very smart. He's very strong. He's the absolute leader. A lot of people say, oh, maybe he's not the leader. He's the absolute. When he's around, his people are standing up at attention. I've never seen. We were at a lunch, and they had 20 people on his side and 20 people on mine, looking at each other.
Right.
In Singapore, we had a meeting in Singapore. It was the biggest press conference I've ever had. There were thousands of paparazzi. I've never seen anything like it. I think people said they've never seen anything like it. I was walking in, he was walking in. We met in the middle, remember? And
Yeah, of
the place just went crazy. But we got along very well. He's very, very smart. And he's a real power. He's a real power. I think he's upset that I'm not there. Nothing would have happened with him. We would have gotten along with him fine. I got to know him very well, and I got along with him great. He's very smart. He's very strong. He's the absolute leader. A lot of people.
I realized it started replaying. I was trying to get the next stuff. I'm ready. So, yeah. Needless to say, he loves dictators. Do we need to replay the rest of that again? I hope not. It did not stop him from trying to promote a conspiracy theory about Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The conspiracy theory being that he is the son of Fidel Castro, even though there is zero evidence at all. That's this many. Zero. None. No evidence backing up that bullshit conspiracy.
Yeah. He's turned very liberal, actually. They say he's the son of Fidel Castro. And could be. I mean, anything's possible in this world,
Except he's not the son of Fidel Castro. There's no evidence. I don't know how many times I got to repeat that. Trump ended up meeting another ass kisser on the way to the second gift. I'm just going to let this one speak for itself.
Sure. Yeah.
This will be
By the way, do you like my buddy Felix's shirt?
I love that.
Felix, by the way, Mr. Trump.
That's fantastic. Wow. Yeah, you
Hold up. I thought the title from Patriot Takes on this one was fucking kidding. Motherfucker put grills on this broke ass motherfucker. What the fuck? The level of delusion from these people. I swear to God, if they even exist. Of course he liked it. Why wouldn't he? Now that was on the way to a Tesla truck with the shooting image on it. And naturally, they decided to close out the one way they knew how. Guess what they did? Do the hand job. Do the hand job. And really, nothing. But seriously, that's what we should just call this. We should just call this the hand job. He can pretend one's Kim Jong-un and the other's Vladimir Putin. Fuck. Orban even, but he would have to grow a third arm. Oh my God. This was all sorts of fucked up. This really was all sorts of fucked up. I'm absolutely at a loss for what else to say. Uh job. So Aiden Ross is pretty weird himself. I'm just gonna be blunt about that. Now, he does have a habit of sniffing people's chairs. And if you thought the first clip I opened up with of Aiden Ross saying he smelled his sister's underwear was weird, you are sorely mistaken. You are sorely mistaken. See what I mean here? What the fuck? What? 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 Hold on. I think I actually have a what button. Hold on. No, that's not it. There it is. It's under MC. I'm sorry. What? 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 What a fucking weirdo! What a fucking weirdo! Oh my God. Why do I have a feeling this guy, the next Predator, Alexa Nicholas, would end up profiling on her YouTube channel? Seriously, he gives off those vibes. He really does. Jeez. Oh my God. What? 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 Oh my God. And hold on. I want to go back and look at this. Okay, so Andrew. Okay, so I had to skip ahead to get to the point. You are fucking weird. You are so fucking weird. And from what I understand, also pretty goddamn illiterate. Okay, real quick, he was trying to look up the word fascist. And I'm sorry, how did he pronounce that? Hold on. Let me start this over. Fascist? Oh my God. Whoever was supposed to teach him how to read failed miserably and should not be a licensed teacher anymore. I'm sorry. They really shouldn't. Oh my God. Oh, oh, I got lightheaded. Oh my God. Oh man, oh my God. All right, let's try this again without me laughing. I might have to get to a point where I have to pull a Brian last when he's dying to the point where he has to mute his microphone because Jim is telling him about how a car ended up on his fence. Oh, oh my. Uh, 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 oh my God. I'm gonna hack up a lung. Oh, God damn. Ugh. So fascism is a far-right authoritarian. Aiden Ross. Fascism is a far-right authoritarian. I almost fucked it up like he did. Ultra-nationalistic political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So what's your reaction to that, Aiden? Wait, 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 wait. Oh my God, hold on. Ah, okay, okay. Okay. All right. So the author of fascism, it brings up Benito Mussolini, Giovanni Gentile. I think Gentile. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, the screen's blurry. Jason Stanley and A. James Gregor. Doesn't know what a fascism. You just read the goddamn definition. Ah, 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 ah. Oh my God. One more time. One more time. I'm sorry. Giovanni. Giovanni. Fascists. You dumb fuck. Then pay attention to actual history. No, but you gave me a much needed laugh, bro. Oh my God, I'm never saying that again. Oh my God, what a dumb fuck. I'm sorry, but what a dumb fuck. hold on. I got one more clip. What? Okay, so there's one more clip. It's one where he thinks Joe Biden banned abortion when in actuality it was overturned by the Supreme Court. If anyone needs a belly laugh today, like I have, you really need to be. For the love of God, at least subscribe to the channel. Because this is the first time I have been able to have this type of belly laugh in a while. Okay, there it is. Oh my God. Yeah, the Supreme Court overruled it, you dumb motherfucker. Oh my God. Oh, God damn. God damn. Oh my God. All right. Now there was another component of this. Let me see if I can find it. Eden Ross Trump campaign finance. I thought I had the link for this one. All right, I really thought I had the link for this one. Ah, here it is from Game Rant. All right, so may or may not be in trouble for gifting truck. Aiden Ross may have broken campaign finance laws by giving Donald Trump expensive gifts during a recent live stream. U.S. federal law restricts individuals' contributions to $3,300 per election campaign. The limit applies to anything of value rather than just money. Ah, okay. Aiden Ross gifted Trump a Rolex watch and a custom Tesla Cybertruck that looks really more like a diaper pail than anything, whose combined value likely exceeds $120,000. Yeah, I'm not going to read that further. Oh my God. So, Andrew Ross may or may not be in trouble. I'll keep an eye on this one. I'm sorry, but that was funny. That was too funny. Oh, I'm sorry. That one was worth a haw. All right, so Trump ended up sitting down. I'm just going to continue the trend here. Trump ended up sitting down with the National Association of Black Journalists. And this one I need to go to my bookmarks for. All right, so Oh yeah, because I put them in order on there. That's why. Oh my god, I'm sorry. My ribs hurt. And my face hurts. From that last one. Oh my god. Uh All right. So, as a lot of you probably know, Trump's visit to the National Association of Black Journalists ended up proving to be a disaster, largely due to how he conducted himself. Let's see how the first clip goes while I get another cough drop in. Okay, so yeah, right out the gate, fucks up. Right out the gate, he fucks up. I love black people, all of them, Ben Carson. Yeah. So he tried to say she was being rude. So let's replay that again, shall we? All right. So yeah, already with the bullshit. Next clip. God damn it, my ribs are gonna hate me today. Ah, okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Diversity, equity, inclusion. DEI. Another way you can say somebody's a DEI hire is by saying that they're either Don Jr., Eric, or Ivanka. But I digress. All right. Let's go back. I'm gonna replay that little part for you really quick, and then I'm gonna dissect it. Okay, so this is a continuation of the birther bullshit, or birtherism 2.0, as it should be referred to as. This is part that I went over last week with Laura Idiot Loomer. She decided she was going to pull up her birth certificate and say, "Oh, look, it doesn't say black or Indian. Oh my God, get it." Yeah, no, that's not how it works, dumb fuck. There are such things as being biracial. Kamala Harris happens to be Jamaican, which is predominantly black, and Indian. Fuck, why hasn't JD Vance taken to oh no wait, he's too busy with that futon. I forgot about that. But when JD Vance is not busy with the futon, he and Usha, whenever she's not filming another proof of life video for Fox News, they can go on and explain to Trump, look, we have kids who are white and Indian. They're mixed race. I like how this is a foreign concept to the dipshit. Yeah, I'm not gonna dissect that any further. I think I pretty much said my piece. All right, so it's hard for. All right, so he's trying to blame all this on. All right, so trying to say that setting up the equipment should be her job. Full-blown racism if that was the case. Ay, ay, ay. And then Trump decided to attack Rachel Scott to her face because, of course, he does. Yeah, about that. About that. Thank you, Axios. All right. So Trump stalled the black name mixed up now. Trump stalled the National Association of Black Journalists interview over fact checking. That's why there was a delay. That is why there was a delay. Hey, so moments before former President Donald Trump took the stage at the National Association of Black Journalists annual convention in Chicago on Wednesday, the organization's president was called back to address an issue. Trump did not want to be fact-checked live, and was refusing to go on stage. NABJ President Ken Lemon told Axios. Trump's team said, well, can you not fact check? He's not going to take the stage if you fact check. So, right away, Trump is going on with bullshit. All right, so the topic of abortion came up. He lied about that. And this is just too funny. I'm sorry. Except you haven't. You've made him a lot more radicalized, tribal, and violent. So, no. All right, so he managed to stun Ferris Faulkner with his attacks on Rachel Scott to her face. And then this is worth going into. Trump admitting he would pardon all of the Capitol rioters. whataboutisms. He was enjoying food over it. The last I remember it, my memory's not too good, so it maybe not. But he enjoyed it. That much I do know. Once again, trying to martyr Ashley Babbitt, even though she's not a martyr. So try again. Ah, Jesus Christ. So the fact. Bingo. Exactly the point. Okay, so the abortion thing, I'm gonna say it every single time this comes up. Ask Casey Anthony how she got away with killing her baby. Ask her. Donald, call her up. Find her. You can ask her. Because she got away with killing her own fucking kid. Plain and simple. And that one still pisses me off. That she got away with it. Now, as far as... I'm sorry, I went on a tangent. That one pissed me off. As far as passing the bar is concerned, passing on the second try is actually not bad, and I really do wonder how many times it took Alina Haba to pass the bar, because I highly doubt it was anywhere on the first, second, third, or even fourth try. Which I'm not surprised that he did that, because everything has to be a bigger, grandiose number to show off my lack of intelligence. I don't know why I made him sound like Ron Tater Salad White for a second there. Or if Ron White had an Ivy League education. Harris Faulkner, on the other hand, seemed to have thought everything went well. And I would love to smoke whatever she's on. I would love to be on whatever you're on, Ferris. I could use the drugs for covering this. Hell, if it has this little side effect and get rid of this thinning, even better. If not, I'll just embrace it like Heyman did. Yeah, nope, not how it happened. He didn't answer a single question. And that was probably the only honest thing she said. And let me rewind that and drive the point home. Hold on, I'm getting the wrong timestamp. There we go. And that's probably the only truthful thing that came out of her mouth. Just gonna be honest. Now, this did get a response from the Biden White House press secretary. Exactly. And then finally, yeah, so I believe her over Harris Faulkner any day. Just gonna be completely honest. Harris Faulkner is paid to lie. So a single word coming out of the mouth of Harris Faulkner. Oh, there were a few other stories I wanted to get to. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see. All right, I might as well go ahead and do the Georgia case or the Georgia story now. The state of Georgia have apparently okayed tools to subvert elections. Voting rights activists sounded the alarm Tuesday, and this was from a week ago. All right, so they sounded the alarm on Tuesday as the GOP-controlled election board in Georgia approved a measure on Tuesday that could allow local officials to dispute county election results. Under the new rule, according to the New York Times, local officials can investigate election results to ensure they are a true and accurate accounting, for all votes cast. The language, the Times reported, implies local officials have some discretion in the certification process, bucking decades of state law. Mark Elias of the group Democracy Docket, and he also appears regularly on the YouTube channel of Brian Tyler Cohen. If you think that would be a good way to get some more information like I have, for the love of God, please do. But Mark Elias of group Democracy Docket, which advocates for protecting voter rights, wrote on Twitter, yes, I'm still dead naming it, on a huge news day, this is a very big deal. Please pay attention. Already am. Republicans, he said in a separate post, are plotting to subvert our elections and undermine free and fair elections. Elias has warned that Republicans will try to use the certification process to ensure former President Donald Trump retakes the White House, even if he loses. Now, this is a big fucking deal. We do not need Georgia to go around and making these types of laws when in actuality, things were done right the last time. They're only passing these rules to in order to stroke the ego of one orange fucker. So, no, these rules are not needed. Hopefully, the state Supreme Court steps in, but my hopes are pretty thin about that. No, actually, let me reword that. I have no hope. But we'll be pleasantly surprised if they tackle it. Okay, so last Thursday, Donald Trump held a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, and it was even worse than the interviews with Aiden Ross, and the National Association of Black Journalists. Let's see how that one started off, shall we? Okay, so we're just recycling the same talking points you've been using since 2020 in the election that you lost. All right, so Trump made this bold claim about Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick, Jim Walz. I was going to try to say VP pick real fast, and yeah, that wasn't going to work. Transgender world? Is it better than this one? As long as there are no Daleks or Cybermen, I will be perfectly happy. Jokes aside, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he also went on to refer to Kamala Harris as nasty. Yeah. He appointed her. You got that part right. But I could not understand a single part of that word salad. All right, so Trump ended up missing Joe Biden to the point where he said they never said 25th Amendment. They encouraged him to drop out of the presidential race because of a condition he has called sundowning, or supposedly has. But it's where you wake up in the morning, you're feeling all fine and dandy, and then around 4 or 5 o'clock, and this is usually in senior citizens, by the way, but around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they start sundowning. They start having these cognitive issues. The debate that Biden partook in with Trump started at 9 p.m. So, yeah, sundowning was going to be a thing. It was going to be a factor. And naturally, Trump wanted to run against Biden because he thought he was a better opponent for him because of the aforementioned sundowning. I shit you not. People on the other side still talk to you? Are all of them Tulsi Gabbard? Yeah, in other words, drop out, don't seek re-election. You can stay the president until the end of your term. That's it, you idiot. Oh my God. The fact that he doesn't understand that is truly hilarious to me. It really is. And he decided to say, we're leading by a lot, even though he's been complaining for about 10 minutes at this point, according to the clip from Aaron Rupar. They're behind in every poll, the last I looked. And that's really the only part I agree with you on. We should have had a primary system. We should have. But of course, Joe Biden's ego was bigger than it should have been at the time. Even I'll admit that, Donald, but for fuck's sake. I don't think there was a way to rush a primary as much as I would have loved to have been able to do that. Because to me, it's just a lot more fair and open. But of course, no. But given the enthusiasm for Harris as the presidential candidate instead of just being the VP, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. You gotta end your reelection campaign, not you gotta leave, idiot. Yeah. So I do like this though. Trump admitted he did not change his strategy, and honestly, we've all noticed. Yeah. So going on and on, he tried to lie his way into saying that Democrats are going to lead to a giant fail. Obviously, that's projection on how his presidential term was a giant fail. To the point where we're all being laughed at, like you were, by world leaders during whatever that summit was. Seriously? 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 All right. I'm not going to bore you guys to tears with playing more and more and more of all of these, but there are a few others I want to. Actually, three. The first one deals with the lie about a peaceful transfer of power. That was not the case at all. It really wasn't. Much like how he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but I digress. Yeah, about that. Um, you see, Donald, how do I word this nicely in a profane way, as is my way? Um, you only left peacefully after this backfired. Remember this? Remember this, Donald? This is peaceful. This is peaceful. No, it's not. It's anything but peaceful. You lying motherfucker. Seriously. That's what happened. Is there anyone you would like to blame for that, Donald? Anybody at all? Anyone at all you would like to blame for that? Yikes! Bad idea, Donald! As much as I don't like Brian Kemp, he's actually one of the more popular governors, so not a good look. And thankfully, I'm not the only one who thought about fact checking January 6th real quick. As it turns out, there was another reporter who did as well. Bingo! Bingo! Thank you! Someone with balls ended up asking the right question. Thank you! Okay, I'm done. They got what they deserved. Some of them should still be in there. They should still be locked up. They shouldn't be allowed to run for office. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my goddamn mouth, motherfucker? No? Well, fuck you. Yeah. All right, so he was asked about his racist comments, and I'm not even going to dive back into that one. I do want to share this. It's a two-part clip from Jamie Gangle of CNN. She highlights the two different reactions to Trump's horrible press conference. Yeah, that clearly didn't happen, did it? Okay, so I am glad I'm not the only one who picked up on that, and it continued. Bingo! Yeah. So what we ended up seeing, I believe Farron Cousins worded this the best. What we saw was a meltdown, a highly publicized meltdown. And I'm all for it. Couldn't happen to a nicer piece of shit. All right, so mental health experts are saying that Trump's speaking style has shown potential indication of cognitive decline. I do want to dive into this in one more story before I get off. And this is from the Independent. Former President Donald Trump speaking of decline, according to psychological experts. An analysis by Stat, a media organization focusing on health, found that Trump's common pattern of speech called, and bear with me, I'm probably going to bungle this, tangentality, I think that's how you pronounce it, jumping from topic to topic with few, if any, connections in between, is just one of a incoherent speaking patterns that appear to have worsened in the last few years. In June of 2017, Trump's first year as president, Stat found Trump's speaking style had worsened since the 1980s. In a repetition of that analysis, experts found that since 2017, Trump's way of speaking has deteriorated further. The complexity of his speaking style has decreased, and while the experts in memory, psychology, and linguistics, who spoke to Stat, noted that they couldn't give a diagnosis without conducting an examination, and given Trump's ego, he's not going to allow for that. Several of them said some of the changes in the former president's speaking style were possible signs of cognitive decline. Before President Joe Biden dropped out of the race, the 81-year-old Democrat's age and mental capacities received the most scrutiny, particularly after his disastrous debate performance on June 27th. But now, as Trump, 78, is running against Vice President Kamala Harris, 59, that focus is shifting towards the former president. Ouch. Trump has claimed to have aced cognitive tests and urged all candidates to take them. What were those 5 things again, Donald? Can you tell us still? All right, so this is a big deal. A lot of people are being led to believe that it's this person, that person. In all honesty, guys, if you pay attention to the way Trump speaks, it comes off as an incoherent mess. It really does. Part of the reason I couldn't bring myself to support him all the way back in 2015 when he shoved the country on that down escalator. Well, that and using the Hitler rhetoric will make it where you don't want to pay any attention or cast a vote for a motherfucker who says that. All righty. All right, now I do want to get to this story because I've put this off for a couple weeks. And this is from Scripps News, and I realize I didn't share the last article, and I should have. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually in support of. From Scripps News, Las Vegas schools will require students to store phones in signal blocking pouches. Now, given I used to work in the educational system and got the hell out of there due to a lot of behaviors, mismanagement from administrators who were principals, vice principals, going all the way up to the superintendent, it wasn't worth it anymore. And one of the issues was cell phones. Now, when it came to the cell phones, we couldn't take them away or anything because then it would turn into a big old deal, or we're going to sue. Call the front office if you need to give your kid a message instead of texting them during valuable instruction time. Otherwise, they're going to end up as illiterate as Aiden Ross in that clip from earlier. So I'm in favor of this. To President Joe Biden, if on the off chance one of his young staffers or interns or whatever happen to be viewing random people with only 50-something subscribers, go full-blown Dark Brandon with this, President Biden. Make this mandatory. You would have teachers going hand over fist to help Kamala, get elected. Hell, excuse me, cough drops are not working anymore. If you really want to win Kamala, or get more of the teacher union vote, or get the vote of teachers who tend to vote Republican, I don't know why, but they do. This is a good way to win them over. Seriously. All right, so starting in the 2024-2025 school year, students in Las Vegas's Clark County School District will require all students in grades 6 through 12 to carry their cell phones in non-locking signal blocking pouches. The Clark County School District, which serves 300,000 students, said the policy is meant to reduce distractions and improve student learning and achievement, according to a news release. It applies to all electronic devices. The pouches will be placed in a location that will be available to students in case of an emergency, the district said. Every minute of instruction is important for student learning, and studies clearly show that cell phones distract students. Do I need to pull up that Aiden Ross clip again? I hope not, because my ribs are still hurting from laughing that hard. And that is from the Clark County School District Interim Superintendent, Dr. Brenda Larson Mitchell. 10 schools piloted the cell phone pouches last year with success, leading us to expand the program to all of our secondary schools. Again, I'm all for this. If you want to prevent stupid, if you want to cut down on stupid, get rid of the distractions. It'll help open your mind. It really will. And with that being said, if I opened your mind one way or another, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. I will be back next week. I have found that Wednesdays are probably the best days to do this. See you guys next week.